Hello and welcome to Arsenal Domination, where you'll have seen the news that Thomas Partey looks set to leave Arsenal. I think this is in some ways not a surprise given recent reporting about his wage demand and offers from elsewhere. Arsenal were happy after the season had to offer him a new deal, reportedly a 2 year deal, whether that was a 1+1 or a 2 year straight up. Is unclear, but they were not prepared to increase his wages. And I think that's understandable given his injury concerns and issues that he's had since he arrived here. Last year was basically the first year in the sort of 4 or 5 years he's been here where he has been injury free. And I don't think you can sort of take that one season and say that's a norm. It has to be looking at the whole career. And with us, it has been injury played. So you can understand the financial commitment for a squad player there was still significant from Arsenal. And you can understand why they didn't want to increase it. On the other hand, you can also understand with Thomas Partey, this will be his last big contract, and if he had offers for bigger amounts of wages to play elsewhere, you can sort of understand where that is. As I say, I've always been torn on Thomas Partey, whether he stays or not. I think from the point of view of he's a player that plays at his best when he's playing regularly, and when he has a sort of in and out of the side, he can sort of lose that bit of concentration, and he can take a little bit of a while to get back up to speed. And I think, that would have been the case this season given Martin Zubimendi is likely to be the starter. But I think that's offset, and this is where I would have preferred him to stay, by the fact that he understands how Arsenal play. We've got a difficult start to the season, and I think Thomas Partey understanding that and his relationship with Declan Rice there would have been very, very useful in those early games in particular. And he is still a very experienced and a very good player when fit. And that's why I'd have preferred him to stay. But I understand this decision from both sides. And it's a shame to see him going. Christian Norgard is reported to be the man Arsenal are most interested in. I have nothing against Christian Norgard at all. He experienced Premier League player. A point was made earlier by someone on the group chat, and I hadn't considered it, that actually he would be coming in not to be the Partey replacement, but more to be the Jorginho replacement. But I think it's not the man I would rather have in. I think our midfield profile is still quite old. I would like to see it get younger if Thomas Partey was moving on. Norgard, I think 31 now, is an older player, but he is a very experienced player. He's a very solid player. And from that point of view, I have no issues, but I'd rather Arsenal had gone younger. Someone like Agume from Sevilla, as I've talked about previously, I think would be my preferred choice. But sadly, it looks like Thomas Partey is off to Arsenal. Arsenal looking to replace him relatively cheaply. I think that's the right approach. As I say, Arsenal should be putting most of their money into the attack, and that's what they appear to be looking to do. But Christian Norgard looks like the man that will be coming in to replace the departing Thomas Partey. I'll speak to you later. Bye.